Hey guys, I am back here with our UV resin. These ones we've been working on, various different ones. So, I'm gonna get in here and drop this video a little bit early for you guys because guess what? Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Want to wish everybody a happy one. Hope everybody gets to spend time with loved ones, and for those who've had loved ones pass, that they can celebrate that person and go ahead and have a good Thanksgiving. So, with that said, wanted to show you guys what I'm going to do to make these into some beautiful earrings and pendants. You might have recalled we used our UV resin tape to put these on so that we could do our doming. It made it a lot easier. You could use packing tape or scotch tape even. I wouldn't use masking tape, but this kind is perfect. So anyway, supplies. Jump rings. I actually found this bag at the Dollar Tree. So quite a few jump rings in there, and I was like, well, yeah, why not? I have my jump ring tool that allows us to open the jump rings nice and easily. Those are my current jump rings. I've got earring backs that I'll put on them. These are the little screws that can go in the tops of the pendants to help. I went ahead and did get some stud backs for earrings from Amazon. I think that pack was like $6, and it has the stud parts, and then of course it has the metal backs, and then it does also have some more of the soft backs as well. So that works. This kit came with a nice case that separates everything. It's a cute case, but it doesn't separate everything. This one came with different earrings, jump rings, and then some of these backs as well. So that's what I have. Got awesome pliers. I like the flat ones because they definitely help. I did bring my multi-purpose tool, the Dremel. Right now it's got the drilling purpose in case I need a hole a little bit bigger, and I can always add the Dremel on if I need to. And then my Let's Resin Double Light, and then of course Counterculture DIY UV resin. I will be getting more hopefully tomorrow, since they should have a pretty good sale. They are advertising it as their best sale yet, and I am stoked about that. So can't wait. Alright, first things, I should probably plug in the UV resin light for us. Sorry for the crinkling, that's just my handy dandy little garbage bag that I keep in the workspace to make it easy. Plug this into the back. He's like spinning. I guess that's the way you're gonna just go. Whatever. So, anywho, let's start with some easy pieces. So these guys are so pretty. I just love them. They turned out really, really pretty. The backs, I know it's probably hard to tell because I am a little bit further away just to make sure that you can see the full process, but those are really pretty on the front, and then the backs just have a really nice shine now that they're domed up. So pretty simple with this kind of earring. I'd get a jump ring. We're going to need two, one for each one. You could get a little bit smaller jump ring, but honestly, as thick as this part is, we're probably going to need the bigger one just to give us that space. Let's see here. Alrighty. On my spot, open that jump ring up. I'm going to go ahead and thread our earring through, so now we have him on the jump ring. Now I want to think about this just a little bit because I want to make sure when we hook on our earring front that it will lay nicely in somebody's ear. So if we just well, that happened. I dropped it and then or it fell off, and then my jump ring went flying. So, try this again. Only problem working with small things. I'll probably be able to find the jump ring, but it's kind of dark over here right now, and this weather changing is driving me a little bit crazy. Anyhow, so if I were to put this on right now, this would have to, if I put it on this way, this would have to be in somebody's left ear for it to be facing out sideways of their head. So we really want it to face forward. And so that's a really easy peasy fix in the sense of you can actually turn this part to the direction you want it. So you could also add another jump ring if you wanted, but instead of this being sideways, going this way, I'm making the hole go this way. I know that's kind of confusing, but we'll go through it a couple times. So, all right. So now, when I put this guy on, I'm going to make sure that when he's standing up, this is really hard to show on video. Harder than I thought it would be. I was like, oh, this would be an easy video. I've done this. I've done earrings and jewelry a lot of my life. So basically when I put this on, the earring's going to be like that to the front. So just takes a little bit of thinking, pre-thinking, before you do. And then I'm popping back in my jump ring tool and just making sure that I close this jump ring. Now, I know with my keychains, I like to add a little UV resin, and you absolutely could to the jump ring if you wanted to. I'm not super worried with earrings. Most women aren't going to be majorly tough with them, so I'm not overly concerned. And so now you can see that if somebody put this in their ear, that's going to be the part that is to the front. I do kind of want to look and see if I have a little bit smaller jump ring. I don't think I do, though. I was looking at my stuff as I gathered, and I didn't see anything. Any others, but maybe in my hurry I overlooked some smaller ones. Oh yeah, here they are, right in front of my face. So this one's not bad, but I feel like that jump ring is very clunky. So I'm going to actually take that one off. And I'm going to put this I'm going to try one of these smaller ones. Now all the hardware that I typically get is going to be hyperallergenic. I personally have a lot of issues with metals. So I just tend to try to order hyperallergenic just because of that reason. And that's what I would tell the people that I sell to or give to, is that they are hyperallergenic. Now, if you do have sensitive ears like me, a trick is clear nail polish. Eventually that will wear off, but I just put the clear nail polish over the earring piece that's in my ear, and that saves me a lot of pain in my ear lobes. Maybe not the best thing to use, but trick that I knew from young age. Alright, these might not be big enough, but let's just see. Let's make sure that I hook that guy on correctly, because that would be no fun. And this has different widths on it. I don't think I've ever used this fat one. I don't know what I would use it for. So I just turn it until I find one that's about the width of my jump ring to use. And yeah, this one's going to be really tricky. That's the problem with a smaller jump ring, is you do have less room to work with to tighten that jump ring back up. I'm getting fingerprints, rings all over that. Not that it matters, I'll throw that tape away, but it's like I'm sticking to it. Oh, but I like this a lot better, I think. It might be worth the heartache of that small jump ring. And here I'm just making sure it's closed. You don't want to go too hard because you'll just bend the jump ring, but there, look how sweet that is. I really love that. I might do a quick polish on this and just throw a little, I feel like it got, I don't know, just scuffed maybe, or didn't cure fully, and so it doesn't have as much of a shine on the top as the back does. So I might try to do just a little thin layer, but for now, he is good. When we start doing the UV resin, then I'll decide and fiddle with him. And I would do the same to this one. I'm not going to just do it to one, I'll do it to both. Alright. So, open up our jump ring. It is very tight. Which is why I was going to go with the bigger one, but I just didn't like the look of it as well. Okay. Got him through. Now, of course, I'm going to need to have different color ones in here. So, obviously, I want to make sure I match. And remember, I had to, so if you look at this right now, our loop is like the same direction as the earring. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist it to where it's going the opposite way. So when I look at it, now we've got this turned the way that we want it. This is very tiny. These pliers, though they're not huge, feel really bulky. I'm working with such teeny tiny space. There we go. Oh, look how pretty. Oh, lordy, did I? Yep, I did. So when we look at this, somebody's going to put this in their ear, and what's going to happen is this is going to be the part that is to the front. That was not what we wanted. So I didn't take a second to double check that, which is why when I did the first one, I said that is key, because you saw how easy it was for me to mess that up. I'll probably get the jump ring open. Maybe. Okay. So just takes a second. Think about it as you're putting it on. Imagine it up and go, okay, it's in the right spot. Okay. Just takes a moment, and then you won't have to redo it. So that's how it's going to be with my videos. I'm not going to hide steps from y'all. I'm not going to edit out little hiccups or mistakes. I just don't want to do that. This is all about learning and giving creators a spot to learn. So that's what we're going to do. I found this cute little earring holder at Hobby Lobby this weekend for $2. Now, it's supposed to have a little stand, but I'm going to fix that. So y'all see it now. Once I get it all fixed up and make a stand for it, I'll bring it back on and show. I might actually do a tutorial of what I end up doing with it. But anywho, okay, these are going to get the stud backs. And I will just, once I do the stud backs, I'll just fill in the little, on these ones I started to do a hole, but I'll just fill that in with some UV resin and be done. These guys are super pretty. I'm not going to make him into an earring just yet. He needs some UV resin on this side. As you can see, I had to scuff him up quite a bit. This guy's actually, I think, ready. Oh, he's so pretty. I don't know if the camera will focus on it, but oh man, alive. And I think with these ones, I want to do, I still want to do these little for sure, but I'm thinking I'm going to do these bronze, kind of. And you know what, I'm going to go ahead and turn him into one, and then I'll just work around the, because I don't need anything on the front. Oh, but he definitely has a hole that's sealed up on me when I was repairing some things. So I have my handy dandy wine cork here, because that avoids us from messing with our mat. I might want to go from the, no, both front and back are sealed. Ain't that nice? I'm going to have to go a little faster. I'm going to clean that off here. Look at all that resin that it was in there. That's funny. Got our workspace a little messy. That's okay. Ah, it's messy. I was throwing this all together. I told my family, I'm like, I am getting this video done. And that's that. The only thing I don't love about the style of this is I want this button to be my on and off button. Now you can tell I definitely went into the corkscrew because there's all that dust from that. But I'll tell you what, we have a hole now, so that's awesome. And we didn't damage our table. I'm designing something in my head with, I have a bunch of wine corks that I got gifted on some freebie site. But anyway, with that, I'm going to, I think, take some of those and make some kind of setup for myself that I can do that on. So I don't have to just hold one. I just want like a sheet of them all connected. That sounds maybe kind of weird, but we'll see. We shall see. Alright, same thing's going to be with these. Because I'm not adding a second jump ring, I would need to turn this. However, with these ones, I'm going to show you an added jump ring. Like, because why not? So actually, what I'm going to do before I add it there, because that's a really tight space to be working with, I'm going to go ahead and put our earring piece on. Now, when it comes up, it's going to be like this. Right? Yeah. I think. Oh, yeah. Nope. This one's a little more complicated. I think what I want to do. These are magnetic on the tip, which is definitely handy, by the way. But it was sticking to that. I don't know if I'm going to get this jump ring closed, actually, now that I'm looking at it, but it's going to fall out on me too. Don't fall out. Okay. Yeah, this is just gonna need a bigger jump ring. This just isn't gonna, well, 2 jump rings down. Alright, that one I may not find. I think it might have landed in the garbage, actually. I used to stress if I lost a jump ring, because for the longest time when I would do beading and so forth, I didn't know what those were called when I was younger, teenager, and it would drive me crazy if I lost one. A lot of times I found them in the carpet. I would find them. I'd hunt and find them for, I'd like search for them. Like, I'm gonna find you. I will find you. And a lot of times I did, but it would like stress me out. And then I learned what they were called, and that made me not stress so much, which is good. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna think a little bit. It needs to go this way. You have to almost think like backwards or in reverse or something. I don't know, because the way it's laying right now, it looks funny, but when we flip it up, because we have that jump ring, it's going to lay perfectly. Oh, he's so gorgeous. Okay, he's the one that definitely needs some. And these are just popsicle sticks. I've seen this on a thing where you can put them on the end of your tape to help keep your tape flat. Of course, I didn't make this strip long enough, just the whole thing, but that's okay. Alright, so we did big one into there. Let's put the small one on there. So I'm putting the small one on first onto our earring. And then I'm closing that because I don't need it open. You don't have to have both open to attach it. It's being stubborn. I like these small ones because they're so dainty, but at the same time, they are kind of a pain to work with because they are just so tiny. I mean, these are tiny as is with my big old fingers here. My goodness. Okay. Put our earring piece on, which is always a little funky, getting him in there. Alright, now comes thinking. Yes, that will work. And sometimes when I do the thinking, even because I'm in a hurry or for whatever reason, I just think wrong and I don't think the backwards and I mess it up. So you saw how easy it is to take it apart if that happens. See, it's just so pretty. This one's honestly done. Like, I'm not going to touch him. He is gorgeous. I'm going to just hang him off of my little stand over there. Alright. 2 more like this. These, oh, these are so pretty too. I think I can do one little jump ring. But I think I'm going to have to shine them up too on the front. That's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Alright, let's see. Let's see how this little guy works. Oh yeah, that's going to give us enough space. It's tight, but it will give us enough space. I think I want to go again the bronze one. I wish there was like a copper. It'd be really pretty. There's a really pretty copper thread in there and it'd be really pretty. So because these, I'm going to have to turn it again. So here it is. We're just going to turn this to where it's the opposite direction. And it shouldn't take too much. Now we've got it like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, though. If I could make it, I would. Alright. I just gotta think for a second. This is how we want it to look. So when we put it on, it's gonna be opposite, but that's okay because when it comes, we close this jump ring, it will come back up in the way it needs to. Oh, that jump ring closed so beautifully. If they could all close that way. So you can see. Voila! Oh. Loving it. Loving it. Alright. I could see myself bumping those and causing them to go flying. So I'm just going to go ahead and close them up. Let's see. Alright. Get this one in here. I feel like this hole might be a little tighter than the last one. And I think it is. I don't know if you heard me say that because it was more of an internal thought that came out as a whisper. This hole is a little bit tighter. It's just a little bit of UV resin. There we go. Bit of mess. So it was just a smidge of UV resin blocking that hole. And it wasn't blocking it all the way, but it was just enough that it was making this super hard to get in. Well, not that this has been much easier. You know what, before I get that all done, I'm just going to go ahead and get this turned so that once I get it in, I don't have to set it down. Because it seems that that's wise. Oh, okay. Alright, just was not wanting to play nice for a second. Okay, yep. But decided it would start behaving. So, there we go. Beautiful. Alright. So, pendants, a little unique with them and what we're going to do. He's going to be a little unique just because of where his is at. So we'll see how this goes. But now I want silver. I am more fond of silver personally, but I will use gold from time to time. But just with these ones, I definitely would like silver. And because the earrings are going to have silver, to me it just makes the most sense. So I started a little hole here. And these little screw guys, we're going to start putting them in. And it's just about getting it started. And then usually it's pretty easy. I mean, you're going to have some resistance. So when you get to where it's resisting, you just need something that can go in that hole. And then give you the leverage to turn. So another handy reason why these silicone brushes are phenomenal. And if you haven't already, you might want to pick up a set on Amazon. I have them at Hobby Lobby too. I saw them here this past weekend. They're at Hobby Lobby. And they look nice. They look identical to what I got, truthfully. Nothing looked different. But unless you were to catch them on sale at Hobby Lobby, I would think that Amazon's just a smidge cheaper. Now, Hobby Lobby always has deals on their UV resin, so a lot of times that section's usually, I think I've only been once in like the last 6 months and it'd be not on sale. All the other times it's been on sale. And it's usually 50% off. I feel like it's not really going in further. So I think we're just going to leave it there. I am going to put a little bit of UV resin around his top here. Just to give that a little sturdier. And I'll probably do one more coat over the back. Just to, again, to give it a little sturdy. Now, if you don't like that shows on the back side, so if we were doing a keychain, I'd be more worried. But where this is a pendant, I'm not going to be super bothered by it. But if it were a keychain that would flip a lot of times and you would see that, I would make sure to put a darker resin over the top here and seal that off so you can't see it. We just have a clear layer here, so you're going to see right through it. Again, I'm not super worried because it's a pendant and it's not a actual like keychain. So a pendant being on your neck, in theory, you're not going to see. And until you get these really in and started, they will fall out. Oh, I was like, I think I got him, and then I don't got him. It takes some pushing it down and in as you're twisting, and I'm just not getting it good enough. So I'm wondering if my hole is just not there. So I'm going to give it just a little bit more there to... I don't want too big of a hole because you don't want to go too deep in. And you want this to actually go in and actually get hooked in there. Threaded. But man, that kitty cat one was not this hard. What am I missing? This drill bit's pretty big. I don't want to use it too much to go in too deep. So I'm afraid that I will make too big of a hole. So, a little bit tinier one. So push our button. Oh, I have it on. Push our button. Let's see if that one will. I hope it will get tight enough. I have to switch that out, but let's see. Yep. You know, why can't they make it to where it's easier on us and that we don't have to switch out like a little tool because of that? But it's okay. They don't consult me before they make things. I need somebody who's willing to let me like test run, and then give feedback, and then they redesign accordingly. I'm like, this is what's needed for a true crafter. Alright. I definitely got in there a little bit further. And I didn't make that hole super, super big, so I feel better. I say that and then bump it and it isn't. Oh yeah. Might be. Sometimes I do better with pliers, sometimes I don't. I'm doing this. Goodness gracious. And I'm sorry I'm quiet, but I am putting a lot of pressure to get this in. So trying to talk and do that is not working well, apparently. But this is crafting real time, real struggles, real happenings. Alright, I'm gonna get my hand a break just because whew, we're making progress. It's just, it is really, really slow. And I don't know why. That one went in so, like, not smooth, but it was pretty easy. All right. Oh, it's going now. Definitely going. Whew. Yeehaw. Alright. So, if you wanted this just to have a chain right through it, then we should probably turn this to where it's like that, so that our hole in the chain could just go right through it. Or I don't know, maybe not a chain, but like a nylon. And so, same thing. Nylon thread. Same thing with that one. Okay. Phew. Sorry about that, y'all. That was a long, long process, and now my hand is like, okay, what did you do to me? Alrighty. Now that that is handled and situated, I'm going to move this over to my tray that came with the lamp, so that it's an easy transfer. And I know it's not that big a deal, but this bump is like super bugging me, y'all. I've always considered myself to have some OCD-ness, and just like if something's not a certain way, it will bug me. And in my mind, I know that that's like not a big deal and probably wasn't bothering y'all, but maybe it was. Like it was bugging me. Alright, then I'm just going to grab these other ones that I'm going to try to touch up here. There we go. I'm just putting them actually to where those earring parts aren't on the tape, which I think is going to make it a little bit easier. At least in my mind, it's going to make it a little bit easier. That was a little too close to the edge. I don't want them right there. I'll just put them right there. Move this little guy down a little. There we go. Okay. UV resin. I'm going to put a glove on one hand because I may want to rub that over those a little bit, and so if I decide that that's what needs done, I don't want to use my bare hand. Okay. Counterculture DIY resin, and we should, before we do that, and probably before I put on this glove, we should get 4 of these. Okay. Perfect. That worked. Now my bottle, it's definitely not out. It's probably about right here. Maybe right. I don't know if you can see that. I might have been out of the screen. So my bottle is probably about right here-ish. So I just have to wait for it to move down a little bit. And so on these that are going to get the stud back, I'm just putting a drop. I probably got a little too much, especially on those ones, but I'm not going to stress over it. Again, these kitty cat ones are for my youngest daughter. She's 8, so she's already pretty stoked about them. And I see fingerprints on this one, so I'm just going to add a thin layer. And then for those, I'm going to put a little in a cup and work with them. I don't want to get too much on. And all I'm going to do with this one is I'm just brushing off just a smidge. I have that silicone brush. And they're definitely some of my favorite tools. I bought them on a whim too. And then they've turned into like my go-to tool. And all I'm doing is just making sure that that's obviously flat. And then I can come back and spread out the UV resin once this guy's gonna. And these guys, I'm just, again, adding another dome layer to him. For this guy, I do want to get a little bit around this hook. Okay. Oh, where'd my ladder go? I have some more videos coming soon for you guys, so I've been working on prepping those. So my workspace is a little tad messy. So I could definitely see some bubbles, and I see a spot I have a gap on, so I'm going to go back and push the resin around. Okay. You are sliding off of there. I think it's because you're at this angle. And I don't really want you at that angle. Alright, so I know I have the others on there. This isn't going to hurt them though to go in here for just a moment, because I want those to lock into place before they shift too much. So we'll do 2 minutes on there. Ooh, almost lost my jumpering tool. I would have been so sad, because that was a game changer. I'll tell you. I spent a lot of my teenage years doing beadwork and beading and putting things together, and earrings and all kinds of things related to that. And working with jump rings, even though I didn't know they were called jump rings for the longest time, are very difficult to work with, especially if you don't have the right tools. And then I learned there's this jump ring tool, and it was a game changer. Actually, found it at Hobby Lobby with my best friend. We went on a little crafting adventure together. Went out to Hobby Lobby, and I was like, I need to find this, and we found it. It's in the beading and jewelry section. I was so excited, and I've not looked back. And it's so much easier than trying to use 2 different pliers, one in each hand, to manipulate that jump ring, or trying to pinch it with your fingers, which is just awful. If you hear barking, that's not actually our dog. That is not one of ours. But he barks all the time. One of the neighbor's dogs. Oh, this 2 minutes. It's a game changer for sure, but I'm so impatient. I just want it to be done. And I won't speed up the video. So you guys, like I said, at least not these ones. You can fast forward if you want to pass all this, but like, I want you to see it in real time. Real crafting time. See the struggles and the hiccups, and know that you're not alone when you're not getting the finish that you want, maybe, or the look that you want, and you're frustrated. You know, I get it. I've been there. I promise, I've been there. I know it seems like it comes super easy to me, potentially, or that I'm able to show these videos really well. You might think they're edited for that, and I'm like, nope. You need to see that even somebody I wouldn't say I'm a longevity resin worker, but I have been working with it now for probably, let's say, a couple of years. And so because of that, I want you to think that just because I've been working with it for so long, that I don't have mistakes and I don't have things that I have to get creative on or that I struggle with, because I absolutely do. Resin is very finicky, and it's not an easy thing to work with. But if you are able to work with it and be patient and learn it, it's very rewarding. And I say patient when I'm impatient for the 2 minutes. Oh man, that's kind of ironic. So I just put a little bit of resin in this little cup that I have. And then I'm just using my silicone brush to rub it over these earrings. And I'm trying to just get it as smooth as possible so I don't end up with a funky ridge or funky look. So honestly, as the artist, I will probably find the issue, but somebody who's buying it or receiving it as a gift or something probably wouldn't notice the flaw that I would notice. That's just, I think, part of being an artist or a crafter. We all were our worst critic, and we want everybody to love it as much as we do. So I have a little bit of hardened resin on my silicone brush, so I'm just going to get a paper towel and I'm just wiping it off. I probably need to clean this one, so I might stick it under the light when we get done and let that cure up and peel it off. Actually, I think there's a piece that can just come right off. Came close to all. It wasn't wet because I had wiped it already, so it worked out. But anywho, I could see where, kind of like an eraser, the older it gets, it probably will live its life and be run its lifespan. I could definitely see that with these silicone brushes, but I'm telling you, I've used them for quite some time now and I haven't replaced them. I have that one tool that, if you watched one of the early videos, definitely it broke on me. Oh, there's my puppy dog. I don't know why he's barking. He's up upstairs with my husband. He probably just is missing me. That was my boy. He's my puppy. If you haven't seen some of the other videos, I have 2 cockapoos. They are a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix. Oh my goodness, they're fluffy, cute. They're ornery, but they are cute. And he is a mama's boy, for sure. For sure, for sure. I fixed that tape. It's still not laying nicely for me. It's not as wrinkled, but it's still enough that it's... Dang. That just makes it look so pretty because it just shined it up. I'm going to add a little more to this one. And then I want to see on this guy about just putting just a smidge down there. Won't be noticed. These guys, of course, I have that hole that I started, so here we go. Let's fill you in. I was gonna say that I probably wouldn't solo pair like that, but honestly, the way that UV resin just like went in there, I can't hardly tell where that hole is. So granted, these are for my daughter, so it wasn't a big deal. I now know I won't drill a hole in them. It's just how I did the last ones like this, because I didn't have the stud back, so I was being creative. But honestly, that looks really good, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. So that is very nice. I'm just kind of rubbing a little bit around. Only problem with the tape is you get stuck to it all the time. just so that the cove around, or that dollop that I put on, isn't so, I don't want to say, doesn't stand out so much. And just putting it around that base to make sure that that base is covered and wouldn't cause any problems. I'm trying to avoid hitting the actual piece that would go in somebody's ear, just because, one, you don't want to create a glob on that and it be sharp, because for those of us who have earrings would know. Oh, sorry, silly with my finger, but sometimes you just do what you got to do. Okay, this guy, these look so damn good. I'm so excited by them. Really, really excited. They just look like I washed them, which I know that's not what happened, but it's what it looks like. And I'm super excited to seal those up. I don't have much in here, but I do have enough that I could probably coat the back of him one more time. So I'm going to. He's so thin in some spots that where I have extra in here, just will reinforce. I don't like to waste. I don't want to just clean my container out and wipe out the UV resin, even as small of amount as it is. I don't know. I don't like to be wasteful. Because those of us who know, resin is not a cheap craft or art at all. It's rather an expensive one. I'm just making sure no crazy bubbles there. And it does help me see, like, if there's a spot that maybe I missed when I was spreading it out, that I can manipulate it and get it so that it doesn't have a weird divot or something. Yep. Okay, so tray back in. It's got like a little lip that sits on. 2 minutes. Actually, I probably will do 3 minutes just since that's the last of it. I'm just going to show you really quick what I do to clean up my things. So since I have a glove on, this is perfect. I'm using 91% alcohol. Actually, it might not be 91. I could be lying. Because I'm using a different bottle. It's actually 99. So these are from Amazon. I can link them in this video because I use them a lot. This is obviously a Walmart brand. I love the spout of this one because these don't come with a spout and then you end up with a ton. So I love the spout, and I can squirt it on my paper towel and clean my tool. You could also put it under the UV light and that would harden it, and then should just slide right off the silicone part. Finally, y'all, sometimes there's just a chunk that you fight with, and I finally got it. I think the alcohol actually loosened it, so that was perfect. And then I'm just taking that same paper towel. Now, if I didn't have a glove on, I wouldn't do it this way. I wouldn't get all messy because of, I don't want that to get on my skin. But, since I have a glove on, I'm just wiping that silicone out, and he's ready for his next use, which is exciting. And this guy, because I'm getting low and he's smaller than what I have space for in there, I'm going to go ahead and transfer him to this one. So I just get these from Amazon. I got a big box of them, and this one that I like the spout on will hold about 1.5 to 2 of these. So it's worth it because otherwise it just comes out too fast for me. And you could do a funnel if you really wanted, but it's really not that messy. You can see I'm losing a little bit, but I'll use that to wipe up my workspace anyway, so I'm not. I don't know, I'm losing a lot more than I was. I think that's getting in the way. Oh yeah. It's not as pretty of a fun sound that it was making, but there we go. So yeah, that. And then I can just get rid of that one. But I think it came in like a case of 12, maybe 10 or 12. I don't know. It was something very expensive. And they weren't that expensive either. And I bought them in bulk because, I mean, I go through just cleaning my space, cleaning my molds. That's what I use in my resin area. And truthfully, the bottle gets kind of sticky because sometimes I'm picking it up when my gloves are still tacky or messy. So, good excuse when you fill it to clean it up. And obviously you can see all kinds of pigments on there. That's just from all sorts of projects when I pick that bottle up. But I love that bottle. I'll have to check out Walmart and see if they still have that type. If that bottle wears out, I don't know what I do. Because the lid of that doesn't fit the other lids. Because, trust me, I tried. Alrighty. So, these all look really, really good. This guy probably needs just a little shimmy coat again. He just didn't shine up as much as I wanted him. Oh, okay. A little. As I squeeze the bottle and, excuse me, get a big old blob out. There was also a hole kind of in that area, and I'm wondering if it just sucked in my UV resin there. So, because he's on there, I'm just going to slide him back in for 2 minutes, and then we're going to take the rest of those off. This UV light, y'all. I've said it. I'll say it again. It is a game changer. I just love it. I love the versatility of it. I love that it's a two-sided. I can't wait to do some more UV resin projects that are two-sided. Or UV resin projects just in general. Because I have all sorts of molds. There's, I'll reach over the screen. Like, I have these molds, and I don't necessarily think the molds were intended for UV resin, but I think it'd be fun to use UV resin for them. So this is done by you fill in this side first, and I probably can't get it back in exactly just because, but you fill in this side and then you demold it because I couldn't get it back in exactly. It was being a little bit more difficult. And there's all kinds of glitter and dust in this mold, so just cleaning that up. But then you move it, once you demold it, you put it in this side, and then you'll continue filling it, and I'll do some kind of color that, you know, is not gonna, I'll probably do something down here that's more of a color darker, and then do clear or another translucent color just to, so that you can get the depths of those layers, which is really cool. But I think these molds, especially being that this light has 2 lights, that you could do UV resin. Now they take a little bit more resin, of the UV resin, but I think that would be fun to do. That piece of paper that I was using, that green piece of paper, somehow got into UV resin. Oh, I bet you my silicone brush, it rolled across it. It's fine, I just stuck my hand in it. Alright. So, oh yeah, this is much better than this guy. It looks so much better. So pretty. So pretty, but now I'm looking and Is it on backwards? It is. How in the world did we do that? Yeah. Okay. We're going to come back to you. Oh, I'm not happy with you right now because you didn't do what you're supposed to. Okay, look at how pretty that is. I don't want to get my fingers all over them because they are still tacky. Not really tacky, but just they need to cure another 12 to 24 hours. And then look how pretty. Oh, they're so pretty. So I'm going to hang them on here. These are just stunning. So this side got a little, I don't even know if you can tell in the video, but it got kind of bumpy there. Yeah, it's fine. Again, I'm going to be the one that notices it. Somebody who's putting it on or getting it as a gift is not going to probably notice that little bit. Because they're going to be oohing and awing the beautifulness. Look at this cute little kitty cat. I would definitely do some things different, but you know what? When it's for your daughter, these worked out so cute. This one is especially like super cute. Oh, I just love them. And these paw prints, the pink is adorable. They came out really cute too. And we had a little hiccup on that one, but guess what? He came out all nice. Look at this. I'm going to fix this. So this I could use probably for another round if I can keep it safe, not covered. But let's fix this guy really quick. And then we'll hop off. But I just wanted to show y'all quickly finishing up the earrings. I know some people are like, well, I can do the resin or I can do the earring part, but I can't do the other. And so my goal is to show everybody the entire process in what I do. Okay, let's not make the same mistake. So this should work. In here. Oh no! So the part that I lost was the earring, but I heard it hit my, oh, I found the, ironically, when I went down, look what I found, my jump ring that I lost. Luckily I'd heard that hit the, well now I gotta reassess, hit my power strip. I need a little bit better setup apparently so that I'm not, let's see, that's not going to do it either. That's not the right way. Okay, is that going to, yeah. I don't know why that one was such a struggle for me tonight, but apparently. Alright, now, Mr. Jump Ring, you got yourself stuck. I'm going to laugh because that's about all I can do because that's just funny. I somehow got this jump ring. I've never done that, y'all. There it goes. I got it stuck in the jump ring tool. Lordy P. If we can just get this guy put together and put together correctly, we are going to be doing phenomenal. Let's see. Okay. Alright, regroup for the umpteenth time, I feel like. Yep. Okay. Everybody hold their breath, cross their fingers, stick their tongue out. Let's hope that I can get this. It didn't close very nicely, so I'm going to clean him up. Not really clean him up, but move him around to get him closed. There it goes. Oh my word. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. I thought if I turned that, y'all, and it was wrong, I might have started crying. I was like, goodness gracious. Lord have mercy. We got it. Alrighty. So there he is. He's gorgeous though. I love these ones. You might recall from the other videos, it's skinnier on this end and thicker on the bottom end, and it's just, they're so dainty. They are so light, everyone. So light. So here is, I know it's going to be hard to see on video, but I will take a picture. Here they are. All pretty dangly ones. And then of course we have our stud ones here with our little necklace pendants as well. I will let them sit for a good 24 hours likely, just because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I don't plan to be in the craft space really. We are hosting this year, which is exciting, and we've got all kinds of yummy goodies to get cooked up and ready for our family and to enjoy the family at our house. So I will be busy doing that and not in the craft space as much as I love crafting though. So I'm thinking I'll be posting some other videos soon with actual pours, so that will be exciting. Come check those out. I haven't done a pour from the full beginning to the end yet, just because I already had some projects I had to finish. So I decided, why not come along for the ride for the finishing of those, and then I will get into some more where you get to see those full on videos of the full pour. Problem will be is that I'm in an environment where I probably can't do much of those deeper pours, any like coasters and things, for a little while, just because it's so chilly right now, especially our weather dipped. But yeah, that's what we got for this week, y'all. Have a wonderful, happy, safe Thanksgiving. Hug those you love and cheer those that you miss. And I will see you guys in a week. Have a good night.